Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna. I'm a psychologist specialized in emotional and binge eating, and today I want to talk to you about the 5 steps of the 5 things that I have personally done in order to stop restricting and therefore stop binging. I was in that cycle for, I would say, over 15 years. I've tried every diet under the sun, never could reach goals, or if I did, I would just gain the weight back so quickly because the way I lost the weight was not sustainable. So at some point you have to realize, like, maybe this whole dieting is not really giving me the results that I need. So I decided I will stop dieting, meaning I will ditch all my diet meal plans. I will not label myself as keto, low carb, paleo, vegan, low food map, whatever the hell I was doing. I will not be on any diet which required me to eat in a certain way throughout the week. And so at first, obviously, I gained some weight because I was craving everything that I was not allowed. But at some point, and first of all, that was not like 5 pounds overnight. But the freedom that you kind of get when you can eat a variety of foods was much more enjoyable and pleasurable than the nightmare that I was in with restrictions and dieting. And so I decided the number one thing, I would not diet. I will try to eat a variety of foods. And that meant if you have been long on a diet, you don't really know what to eat. Like, don't think that you will all of a sudden have these magical ideas like, I'm going to make an omelet with... No, you are stuck for weeks on always kind of going back to the dieting mode, and you just have to get yourself out. Like, okay, it's okay to have bread, and it's okay to have something sweet, and it's okay to put the sauce, which has a bit more calories, on top of your salad. So not dieting and then eating a variety of foods, listening to what your body actually wants to eat was the number one thing. Second, food rules. Meaning, when am I allowed to eat certain foods on a weekday or the weekend, or I'm allowed to eat this only if I have done a certain exercise, or if I eat more, I need to burn it off. All that had to go through the window, which is why I had deleted all my apps that were tracking any kind of food, caloric intake, or my workouts. The food rules also, such as I need to have protein at every meal, or I need to have this amount of vegetables, same. I need to have this amount of fiber, same. I cannot have sweets, same. Every food rule, and I had so many, had to go through the window literally, because I understood there is a reason why I'm craving those foods and why I only want to have those foods and why I binge on those foods and gain the weight back is because they are a rule that, I cannot break. So I was not allowed to break. So, I started slow with one food rule at a time. Like I'm not allowed to eat after 6, or I need to fast for 18 hours, or I need to, eat clean for 5 days in a week. Just bit by bit, I was challenging every single food rule to see what will happen. And let me tell you, nothing happened. Nothing. Like, my body didn't change overnight either. Same was with exercise. Like, when it comes to rules, and understanding that you cannot out-train a bad diet, it's pointless. So I might as well move in the way I like to move. And that was the third thing I had to change. Like, I was a cardio junkie, HIIT cardio junkie for hours and hours and hours. I refused to do any resistance training, weight training. It was basically like starvation diet and cardio, like the rabbit diet plus cardio. And of course that will lead to weight loss. But I noticed that the relationship with exercise was as bad at the time as it was with food, because it was not pleasurable, it was not enjoyable. I hated every minute of it. And I was doing it only for the weight loss and the burn of the calories, or if I had to eat something later on to earn my calories because I did a workout before. So I ditched cardio completely. I still don't do it. My only form of cardio is walking, occasional swimming. But yeah, no more running, no more cardio machines. I don't go to the gym. I work out from home. Very Pilates resistance type of training, something that feels good for my body. And I never felt and looked good better than I do now. And again, I don't burn a lot of calories through my exercises, barely any. And I just feel good in my body. I don't want to feel that I'm dreading my workout, because then I know it doesn't come from the place of love for the movement, but the hate. And that's something I had to change. Number 4, pay attention to hunger and satiety cues and cravings. Like if you are a dieter, you don't know when you're hungry, when you're full, because you're just given a portion of foods to eat. So I had to understand what is the difference between physical and emotional hunger. We need to eat when we're physically hungry. I had to pay attention to those signs. I had to learn to eat without distractions, which was so hard, because when you're a binger, you have to go between one and the other. You are not paying attention to your satiety cues, and I never did. So I had to just then binge, and all of a sudden it was like hunger cues. Okay, when do we hear the stomach? Then we sit, then we eat, and then we pay to satiety cues attention. So that was major. And the same with the cravings. Are cravings physical, emotional? Is something else going on, or do I really want the chocolate? That's a very important part, because what you have on the plate really doesn't matter, as long as you eat what you want, but it matters that you start eating when you're hungry and you stop when you're starting to get full. That's a good relationship with food, knowing you can have that food at any given time and just put it in a container, fridge, pantry, whatever, and just have it later on. It's not a problem, but it's just like in the moment you're like, I've had enough. That's a healthy and good relationship with food. You don't have to eat everything like a binger, but you're also not restricting yourself like a dieter. And I would say that the last thing is the mindset part. So I had to ditch the all or nothing mentality, obviously. So it's not like I'm on a diet, off a diet, eating clean, eating junk, eating good foods, eating bad food. It's just like, let's mix it up and have a variety of foods throughout the week, but also self-sabotaging thoughts about myself, that whenever I had a slip up, I would blame myself. That had to change, because I just didn't know how to eat. And it's such a basic thing, but when you grow up with thoughts and ideas and notions of who you are and how you're supposed to look and to eat and what's healthy and not healthy, it just becomes this noise that I had to calm down and tell myself that slip-ups will be part of the journey. It's not me not being motivated to heal. It's just that I am supposed to learn something every single time that I have a slip. Every single time that I have a slip into a binge, or I want to restrict something is happening. Something has triggered me. Something was off with my food. Some emotions were not properly regulated. And that's perfectly fine. It's the understanding that in the beginning, not everything will be perfect. And no one who has recovered from a distorted relationship with food, from restricting and binging, had it easy. But the notion of staying where I was worse than having the slip-ups and learning my way up. So these were my 5 steps. If you have any questions, let me know.